again, everybody, and it's that time of the week again. It's time to look at your replays in the gallery. Yeah, I went all a bit nostalgic, and I found the music for Tony Hart's Take Heart 1970s, 1980s Kiddies TV program, where he had a section called The Gallery. So what have we got for you this week? Wow, we've got a bit of a special, to be fair. You guys just seem to just want to tear up the battlefield, and it's just raining aces. Every single clip, every replay this week is an ace. So, without further ado, let's look at your awesome gameplay in the gallery. Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Fugit's Blitz. And this week, this is my favorite part of the week. It's the end of the week, which that means, yep, it's your replays. Oh, man, I just love watching your replays and doing videos of your replays. It just goes to show how many great players there are on Blitz who are just not recognized. So, guys, please keep these clips rolling in, and without further ado, let's move on to our first willing victim. And it's a good friend of mine from the EU forums, Chairman Mapug of the AFK clan, who's rolling out on Dynasty's Pearl in the Centurion 1. Now, Chairman Mapug sent me a few videos before. Some of you may remember the Indian Panzer, which he aced on Faust. And I've already told you it's raining aces, so it's absolutely no surprise what he's going to do with the Centurion 1, to be fair. However, the Centurion 1, it's not exactly the easiest tank to play in. A lot of people find it very difficult, and I understand why. I mean, it's had a bit of a rough time with the type of ammo it's got and all this sort of stuff. And, you know, Wargaming tinkered around with this along with the other mediums from the British line in Tier 9 and Tier 10. But you know, it's a good little tank once you get to grips with it. And, you know, we're less than a minute in, and already Chairman Mapug is capped a base and knocked out a tank. Not bad going, really. But getting back to the Centurion 1 itself, like I said, a lot of people struggle in this tank. And, you know, it's got great gun depression, it's got relatively poor armor, and it hasn't got, you know, the firepower that it once had. But it can still dish out a lot of pain. The problem with it is you really do need to know how to play this tank. That's the difficulty here. It's not an easy tank to get to grips with, as I said. And a lot of people struggle with this little tank. I personally think it's great. I mean, I love the British medium lines and tier 8, 9 and 10. But I too also struggle with them. I mean, I have lovely games in them, and then I have absolute shockers. And Chairman Mapug here is showing us what you do with it. I mean, you stick it down on a low part, and the gun depression is spectacular, to be fair. But as you can see here, he's not getting the penetration he deserves. He's getting high rolls. I mean, he's already done. He's fired a load of shots, but he's done less than 1,000 damage. And this is one of the problems with the British line in the mediums. The damage output isn't massive, which is a shame because they're great tanks. But most mediums don't knock out shed loads of damage, to be fair. And as I said before on previous other videos, almost all the mediums at tier 8 upwards, well, almost all the mediums in every tier, to be honest, doesn't have the best armor. I mean, they just don't. The thing with the British line is the turrets are quite solid. They really do need to be hauled down. I mean, the front glacis plates are normally pretty tough as well. But the biggest problem you get with the Cent 1, in fairness and in my opinion, is the amount of damage it dishes out. Okay, it dishes out damage quickly, and it only dishes out, though, about 190 top roll. Okay, it'll pen almost anything. I mean, it's got a penetration value of 226. The penetration is really quite good. But you'll also struggle to pen, because at this tier, things start to get a bit more armoured. Yes, it's got a great reload. I mean, the reload time is, what, under 6 seconds, and if you're knocking out 190 in under 6 seconds, I mean, you're doing really well at this level. But it has major vulnerabilities. Now, what Chairman Mapug is doing here is protecting this tank and taking the shots where he can. And this is where people struggle with this tank. Like they struggle with most mediums. They think that all mediums, because they're in this, don't get me wrong, this one isn't exactly fast, but they think that all mediums need to be spotting everything and getting up close and personal. No, that is not the way you play a medium. And the way you play a medium is the way Chairman Mapug is doing it. You protect yourself and you run around the battlefield. Now, he's taken just shy of 2,500 damage. He's taken out 3 tanks. He's got a great mastery, and this is how you play the Cent 1. You farm damage. You are a second line support. And I really want to thank Chairman Mapug of AFK for sharing that with us, because it goes to show how you should be playing these type of mediums. You've got to be conservative, but you've got to be dishing damage regularly. So, thank you, Chairman Mapug. Next up, another good friend of mine from the EU forums, and also a regular contributor, it's Major Easy of BTSV Clan. Now, sticking with the tier 8s, he's going out in the IS-3 Bear. And he's gone out on Alpenstadt, which is a map I really like. I mean, I think this is one of the best maps in the game. I love it, because there are just so many good firing positions. Now, this is the IS-3. It's called the Bear because of the camo that Major Easy has put on it. Now, the IS-3 is a really nice tank. It's a bully, and it's on that heavy line, and it's that Russian armor that it's got this very pikey nose, and it bounces strange things, and it's got a relatively great gun on it. I mean, it really has. It will pen most things, and it will give out a lot of hurt. It really will. But again, this is a tank that some people struggle in, some people don't like it, some people underrate it. I think this is a great tank at this tier. I really think it is. And if you know how to play it, boy, you can have a lot of fun. I mean, look at that. He's just bounced 400. It's just brilliant. I mean, this is why I love these type of tanks. Okay, it's a heavy. It's a little bit slow. It's got a long reload. But it's meant to intimidate. It's meant to be in your face, annoying you. And in the right hands, it really is a bully, and it really does intimidate. This is the thing with these heavies. I mean, he's bounced, what, 800 now? You know, and he's got, what, 3 tanks round him. He's got a grave digger that isn't looking his way, and he's just going to put one right up the grave digger's nose. I mean, this is why I love the IS-3, and not just the IS-3. I mean, most tanks, most heavy tanks have this bully boy tactic, this intimidation factor. And what Major Easy is doing here is exactly the right thing. He's intimidating when he should. And he's really giving the Reds a hard time around this cap. And if you notice, he's pushing out to try and get the Draciolo to come to him. And he's tempting them to come and take him out. His team is not in the best position now. They're 3 against 5. And if you notice, the Draciolo's got a full hit point pool, and the IS-3 has almost got full. So Major Easy is going to do the right thing. He's going to focus on this WZ-110, and he's going to take it out. So it's now 4 against 5. He's going to reverse back towards the cap. He's still getting the Draciolo giving him a hard time. In the Draciolo, as I said, is on a full hit points. Now they're all focusing the Drac. The Drac now is by far the biggest threat. The IS-3 is a threat, yes, but his reload isn't as bad, isn't as good as the Draciolo. So Major Easy is now thinking, right, I've got to work something out. So he's going to take a shot on the IS-3. He bounces it, unfortunately. And now he's going to focus on the Draciolo. He gets a nice bounce there from the Draciolo. He's now bounced 1,200. He's now got 2 tanks on him. Thankfully, the IS-3 is on a very slow reload compared to the Draciolo. The Draciolo is now in pain. He's missed that shot. Major Easy gets around the corner just in time. The Draciolo comes round, and there he goes. Takes him out. Now it's 2 against 1. A minute ago, it was 5 against 2. And 2 really good hit points. He gets another bounce from the IS-3, but it's not looking good for the Major here. He's in trouble, and we know he's in trouble. He gets a horrible bounce there on the IS-3, which is a shame. Can he do something? He's got a Panther coming in to help him, but he just can't get it round enough. But hey, what a game. 2,600 damage. He's taken 3 kills, and all he's done is sat around that cap and really annoyed the enemy. And that is really good gameplay. And it highlights what you need to do to get a mastery badge. It's not always about all the kills and all the damage. What Major Easy has done here, he's taken a cap. Okay, he's going to be the top damage on 2,600. He's got 3 kills, which is really, really good. But his efficiency in that game and his contribution to that game is what got him the mastery. And that is the important part, guys. And I'd like to thank Major Easy for sharing that replay with us, because it goes to show exactly what sort of gameplay is required to get a mastery. Anyway, moving on. So we're going to move up the tiers now from tier 8 to tier 10. And this is my good friend John T 2014 from EMRS, a regular contributor to my channel. And here he is rolling out in the tier 110 E3, the tier X American TD, that I personally think is one of the hardest tier X tanks to get out in. It really is. It's not an easy tank to play. It's got really good armor, don't get me wrong, except from the backside, which most people can pen. It will bounce most things. It's got relatively poor penetration, but the ability to dish damage is really good, and it's a solid tank. To be honest with you, it really is a solid tank. Now, John T is, in my opinion, a very aggressive player, and I'm sure he'll agree with that. And as you can see here, he's decided to go brawling with the T57 Heavy, which is a tough tank to brawl with. Thankfully, the T57 Heavy's got a really long reload, and John T has done really well in a brawl with an American Heavy. He really has. I mean, that's a tough cookie to play around with. And already, we're just over a minute into the game, and already he's done 2,000 damage. I mean, wow, this tank can really dish out the pain. Now he's seen a Centurion 7-1. What can he do here? He's waiting. Oh, no, he decides not to give it a bash. And the reason being is that little flashing icon, because that's going to give him a massive roll, and it did. A 700 roll on that poor T5. And now the T5 is in pain. And Jonty's now done 2,764 damage. He's been hanging around this C-cap. He's protected this C-cap. And he's played sensibly. He saw the flashing icon, decided not to waste his shot on the Centurion 7-1, and he waited until he could give the maximum damage. And boy, did he give maximum damage. Now he's looking for other targets. There's an AMX-50B. Let's shove 1,000 straight into his back with HE. I mean, that poor old AMX didn't know what hit him, other than a massive HE roll from this American TD. I mean, Jonty just absolutely obliterated him. Okay, he didn't get the kill, but wow, what a roll. Now we've got the Centurion 7-1 still, and we've still got the back chat. What's Jonty going to do? Who's he going to focus on? He's got AP loaded. He's looking for his targets. Okay, not a good miss, but he gets a nice bounce there. He's now done 3,700 damage, bounced 1,700, and they now know he is a dangerous tank. He gets a lovely 830 roll there on the back chat, who's now licking his wounds. He knows that the Centurion 7-1 is going to flank him. There he comes. Jonty is now down to 200 hit points because the sides and the rear of this thing is paper thin. But look at this, another 600 roll on the center. He's now down to 41. Jonty's still got healthy. Here comes the back chat. Let's put some HE in there. Oh, he backs off a bit. Jonty's not taking any chances here. He can't really get a good shot on him. So he's just tempting them to come to him. Now, the team is not in a great position. It's 3 against 2. Can he get something? Oh, he can, but he only gets splash damage. He doesn't get a high roll. Now his little flashy icon is there again. He's got a pretty healthy back chat. He's got a nice Death Star come to help him out. He's got a Centurion who's only on 41 hit points, so he's got to be careful. They're losing on cap points. They've got only 2 left against 3. Here comes a back chat. Oh, Jonty gets a nice bounce there from the back chat, What can he do? Can he get round quickly enough? Can he? Can he? Oh, back chat good. Oh, no, he doesn't wipe him out. He only gets a 400 roll. Let's ram him. Oh, he gets a small ram, only 50. It's all looking dangerous. He's on 97. The back chat's on 34. The Centurion's on 41. The Death Star is gone. It's now Jonty against the world. What can happen? He gets rid of the back chat and he gets wiped out. But look at that damage. Almost 6,000. Boy, was I rooting for him to get the 6,000 there. He loses the game. It's a defeat. But look at that mastery. 6,000 almost. And again, guys, this emphasizes how to get a mastery, which we'll discuss later. And once again, I'd love to thank Jonty 2014 of EMRS for sending across that replay. I mean, it's just a pleasure to watch you play, Jonty. Thanks for that, mate. Last up, we have Perurut of 1RTR. Going out in the T62A. Now, Perurut is another buddy of mine from the EU forums, and we're sticking with the tier 10s now, and here he is out in the T62A, which is a fantastic medium tank in the Russian line. A lot of people say that they prefer the Object 140, but hey, this tank is a mean little beast, it really is. It's got fantastic hull-down armor. That turret is just like a solid lump of rock. And it's got that funky Russian armor, nicely rounded. It will bounce a lot. And it's got a really great reload, just over 5 seconds. And it will dish out, not the best alpha, around 310. And it's not got the best penetration at this tier. But when you couple all that together with the just over 5 second reload, boy, you can have fun. You really can. But again, the T62 is a tank that needs a little bit of TLC. You can't keep putting it in harm's way. Yes, okay, it's got really nice armor on the turret, but it will be penned. It is pretty thin, and it doesn't dish out lots of massive rolls of damage, but it will dish out relatively okay-ish damage, 300, in quick succession. So the whole idea of the T62 is getting it in a position where you can farm. And that is the glorious thing with this tank. If you can farm in this thing, then you will have a whale of a time. I mean, look at this. Perura is just farming away at all these bigger tanks over the other side of the map. And I mean, the gun is super accurate. It really is. It's a great little gun. It's not the biggest dirt machine. Of course it's not. But look, we're at 1,500 already. He hasn't got any kills, but he's been a nuisance. And this is what a medium is all about. Mediums are meant to be nuisance tanks. Look at this. Quickly round, oversights, knock another 300 into this poor chap. It's just how it rolls. So he's hitting almost everything so far. He's, again, not moved very far from this cap. He's now going to go down there and take out this T5. He knocks it up the backside, doesn't get a great roll, and finally gets a better roll, but still doesn't get a kill. Now he's done 2,200 damage. Still hanging around this C cap. Still looking to farm damage. Oh, there's the Death Star. Well, that's not a nice tank to be facing against when you're in a T62A, because he can effectively wipe you out with one big HE roll. He's also got a Jaegeroo over there sat in the corner, which again is another really nasty tank when you're in a T62A. But watch this. This is just awesome gameplay. Go down to the Death Star, fake him out, pretend you're going one way, then go the other, get him to fire, and then just, not even circle of death him, just farm all his hit points. The poor Death Star cannot do a single thing. Peruit is just going to sit there and take everything he's got. That is probably the most dangerous tank now off the board. The way that was played is spectacular, really. I mean, to brawl with a Death Star in a T62A and fake him out like that is just amazing gameplay. Now he's focused on the Jaegeroo. And the Jaegeroo is not even looking at this T62. Oh, it gets a horrible bounce there. But look at this. The Jaegeroo is completely oblivious to somebody putting lots of shots into his backside. So that allows Peruit to say, well, forget you. I'm going to focus on the IS-8 instead. because he's just as dangerous. And he's just going to farm the IS-8, and he finally kills him with a fire, which allows him to then turn around and just say, okay, Jaegeru, goodbye. What an amazing game. I mean, just over 5,000 damage in a T-62A. He's got 3 kills, 2 of which were the Death Star and the Jaegeru. And what a well-deserved mastery. Now, let's have a look at Peruit take out this Death Star again. We see the Death Star here coming in, knowing that a T-62A is there. We've got Peruit focused now. He knows that there's a Death Star there. He's now telling everybody, attack the Death Star. This is just a brilliant way to drive a tank. He's up high. The Death Star can really hurt him, but the Death Star is facing the wrong way. So Peruit then comes over the top, sticks one into his side, gets a 327 roll. The Death Star can now see him. He turns. Peruit heads to the left and then fakes him out and goes straight to the right while the Death Star is still turning that turret to the left. He fires, completely committed to the shot. Peruit is now able to get right behind him and just farm hit points like they're going out of fashion. I mean, just look at this. 327 first, now a 313. Now he's going to park right behind him, and that's it. As far as the Death Star is concerned, it's game over. He's going back to the garage. There is absolutely nothing he can do. It is Endex. Simple. 287 damage. Wow. I mean, he's now taken almost all, he's taken half the hit points from this poor Death Star. And all because of that initial move. Over the top, fake left, go right, get the Death Star to commit. It was all over. Another 300, 57 hit points left. This is a well-deserved kill. He almost would have had the complete destruction of this Death Star, which is by far the most dangerous tank on the battlefield to this poor T-62. And then Peruit just finishes him off. What an awesome way to play that tank. And if you're just starting the game or you're an average player like I am, watching gameplay like that should give you a lot of tips. And I really want to thank Peruit for sharing that clip with us because, boy, that was a great game. So anyway, I was saying earlier, we're going to watch John T brawl again with the T-57. So I was saying earlier about masteries. Now, in 2 of these mastery games, the players did not survive. Major Easy died in the IS-3 Bear, and John T 2014 not only died, but he also lost the game. Yet they still got masteries. And a lot of people scratched their heads. Okay, it's pretty easy to see why John T should be getting a mastery with almost 6,000 damage, but it's not just about damage, guys. Masteries are about lots of other things. So, okay, let's look at it from a different and logical perspective, because a lot of people ask about why I'm not acing certain tanks. Now, I did a top 10 tips video a while ago, and I said one of the things that you should avoid is focusing on getting a mastery. The reason being, the parameters to get a mastery are actually really wide. It's not just about being a damage machine, and it's not just about getting all the kills. I once got 7 kills. I was the top tank in a Cromwell B, and I only got a first class. It's about a lot of other things. Now, just to point out what John T did and how he got his mastery. Okay, he got almost 6,000 damage, but he also spotted an enemy. He also, with his assistance, allowed his team to carry another 1,000 almost of damage against the other people. And he had a shot on almost every single tank on the enemy side apart from one. This is how you get masteries, guys. It's about the contribution you make to the game. It's not just about sitting there and farming damage or getting 7 kills. It's about how you play the tank and how you help your team get to where it needs to get. Okay, John T lost. John T died. Maisie Easy died. But if you look at their efficiency, boy, were they absolutely essential to that team. I mean, Jonty clearly carried the team with the 6,000 damage, but it's the same with the T62 of Peruit, and it's also the same with the Centurion one with Chairman Mapug. These guys were crucial to the battle, and this is the important point, guys. It's not 7 against 1. It's 7 against 7. And you're only realistically going to get masteries 90% of the time if you play and contribute as a team. You will not get a mastery if you try and go out on your own. And that's an important thing to remember. If you're really looking for masteries, you need to be a team player. Yes, you can carry the team like Jonty did and like Peruit did, but you've still got to contribute to the team overall. And what Jonty and Peruit did, they clearly carried their teams. I mean, 5,000 damage and almost 6,000 damage is carrying a team. But with Chairman Mapug and with Major Easy, they also carried their teams. Not to the same amount of damage, but they were in the thick of battle and they acted as a team. None of them were selfish players. And that's the important point, guys. Look, I've seen top players from top clans on 70+ win rates get wasted in the first 5 minutes. And they sometimes can't carry the team. And a lot of players sometimes expect the big players to carry teams. And I've seen 40% win rate players carry teams. The idea of this game is, and the most realistic way you're going to win these battles, and that's the point. The point isn't getting 7 kills. That's a bonus. The point is to win, is if you play as a team. Anyway, soapbox moment over. Guys, I really want to thank Chairman Mapug of AFK, Major Easy of BTSV, Jonty 2014 of EMRS, and Peruit of 1RTR for sending their replays in. I'm sure if you watch them over and over again, you will take some valuable tips from these players, because the way they handled these tanks and the way they played them is just spectacular. As per usual, guys, I'd love to see your replays. Please, my channel doesn't work without your replays. I made it clear from day one, this channel is about you, not about me. So please get them rolling in, fugitblitz@gmail.com. And like I say always, they will be shown, not maybe the next day or whatever, but they will be shown. Until then, guys, enjoy these replays. I know I did, although I am slightly envious and jealous of the way these guys play. But guys, look, they're great replays. These are great players. Stay safe, have fun out there, and happy tanking. Hey, I've been Fugit and you've been great. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it, and I'd love if you would press subscribe. Who knows, we can do some more. By all means, drop me comments, tell me what can be improved, and tell me what you'd like to see. I really love to know. Anyway, until the next time, guys, happy tanking.